Hi ho, and welcome back to DML. So guys, we have confirmation on the next dragon of the week as per usual, and next week is going to be this cute little dragon right here, the Cherry Blossom Dragon. So she's been available quite a few times before in the past, but you will have the opportunity to breed her next week. And so she is an epic with the plant, water and fire element. So if you want a really, you know, kind of standard early game dragon, she is there for you. So, you know, with most dragons of the week, I do recommend leveling up your dragons to around about level 15. But on top of that, the important thing to know is what the combination is going to be. And, you know, thank you to Idawine for this as always. But the combo is going to be the B plus Tesla dragons. So, you know, pretty easy dragons to get a hold of. And there are just 7 other possible outcomes. The Cherry Blossom has a 16-hour breeding time, reduced to 12 hours, 48 minutes VIP. No shared breeding time, but it's, you know, kind of useful that, for the most part, this is a relatively simple breed, because you've got to remember that for part of the Cherry Blossom, or, you know, towards the end of the Cherry Blossom being available, we will have the castle event coming to the game. Because right now in DML, you know, with the boss challenge event ongoing, it doesn't really change how you do any other part of the game, because the boss challenge is just sort of, you know, do the boss challenge and it doesn't have any other impact on anything else that you're doing. But when it comes to castle events, breeding, item management, like stuff like making sure that you can plant more food, you have gold to collect, that's all really important. And especially the breeding part, because you do get a lot of extra, you know, points for the breeding section. So she's still not going to be the best option if you are trying to be as optimal as possible during the castle event. But, you know, if you're really desperate for her, hopefully you can breed her before the event starts. But man, oh man, I cannot wait to see if the map for the new event looks any different to what we're used to, because I want this cool ass time rift theme to come through. But in the meantime, we do have 21 more chests, so we will open them up. Come on, at this point, all that we care about are legendary and divine pieces. Stop giving me more sunset dragons. Stop it. I'm gonna get mad every single time I see 40 or above pieces for random epics. Again! Stop it! If I say it every time, do you think it's just gonna keep happening over and over again? It better not. We did get a duplicate, but thank goodness I would have lost my mind if it did it again. Genuinely. I was not ready for that at all. But yeah, it is kind of disappointing opening up these chests, and you know, every time it's just epics, it's like, oh god, just epic pieces, that's boring. Because, there we go, there's one piece for another fairy, I guess. I mean, we already have the fairy, but, you know, I want Poseidon. I do have more pieces for Poseidon on my Android account still. You know, I really want to get him, but it's just, with the odds being so high of getting all the other dragons, it's just, I'm losing faith. I know the other day I was just so, you know, bamboozled and amazed by the sort of luck that we've been having. But I don't know if it's going to continue. I don't know if it's going to continue forever and onwards. I don't think we're quite lucky enough to get him. But at least we've got these 2 guys that are going to finish hatching in like 16 hours-ish. So we have 2 more dragons to add to our collection. And I did pop down another legendary habitat somewhere. Where is it? There it is. So we've got a spare habitat for another fairy dragon. Will we just descend it? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll let you decide that, because I feel pretty bad. And say goodbye to our springtime dragon, by the way. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Poor thing. So, there are still a couple of deals out at the moment. The Flutterby deal is still there, which I said was pretty trash. There is currently this bundle out here, though, which is kind of intriguing because, you know, it's got a Ladybug Dragon, 10 tickets, and 6.7 million gold. You're pretty much just buying this for the dragon because 10 divine tickets is like nothing. £4 is still quite steep for a rare because you're never going to use this rare on your team. So you are literally paying for a collector's piece dragon, which I think is overpriced. If that bundle was like $1, then I could get behind it. But £4, that's kind of a bit much. You'll often find me being quite negative with a lot of the bundles in this game, and it's purely because they say that rares are like £4 on average, which is just not true. Because you're never going to use them, they suck, they might look cool, but that's it. And then with epics, they try and say that they're like, what, £15, 12-ish pounds, something like that, which again, is not true, considering that I could go ahead with a breeding combination and have like a 60% chance of breeding a rare. I mean an epic, depending on which one it is. I know that they try and paint epics as, you know, quite strong to newer players, and it does take you a little while to start breeding epics in this game, but they're not worth £12, which is like $15 around about. They're not worth that much. Like, genuinely, you are gonna get hundreds and hundreds of epics if you keep playing the game for a while. I mean, how many dragons do I have? I swear to God, most of the dragons that I have are epics from, like, special events and such. Because I don't think most of them are rares. I'm pretty sure most of them are epics that they provide. So I think epics are just, like, the biggest portion of dragons in the game. And imagine if I'd spent £12 on every single one of them. I assure you I would be out of money by now. Because what do I have, like 450-ish different species of dragon, and we probably have like, I don't know, 300 of them being epics or something like that. I just think it's extortionate to think that they're anywhere close to that amount. Like, I get that they're limited time and special, but they're really not. They're really not all that amazing. Like, even though I love the caterpillar dragon so much, I didn't care enough about him to, you know, lose sleep during those nights when the boss challenge was out. I mean, I was busy with stuff anyway, but, you know, if I really, really pushed myself to want to do it, I could have gotten the caterpillar. Even though he's in my top 3 favourite dragons of all time, I just don't care enough to do that. He was not worth spending a ton of gems on it either, so, you know, obviously, maybe my perspective is skewed because I do have a rather large collection. Obviously not the biggest collection out there, but I have a rather large collection of dragons at my disposal. But, you know, it's like when they say that legendaries are like $60 or whatever it is, something like that, and they try and say they're 80% off in this stunning deal, now $20. It's like, no, they were never worth near on $100 to begin with. I don't know who told you that, but I just don't believe it for a second. Don't believe it. You will very occasionally find some pretty spicy deals come out, like the Medusa Dragon Bundle. That was questionable. It was still 20 quid, which I think is too much. But the deal itself was very tempting, and it did come with a lot of cool extras, which I actually thought made the deal kind of worth the price. But you don't find those deals too often in DML. Which is why I always suggest that if you're considering to buy certain bundles, always prioritize buying the clan, especially when it's on sale. But on top of that, make sure you are looking out for very specific niche deals with, you know, rare dragons in them that come with some cool bonuses like free VIP, free Dragon Fury Essence, you know, all of that good stuff. Do I not have any map fights left? I do have a couple. I was gonna say, have I seriously done every single map fight too recently? That pretty much never happens. I don't know, but I'm hoping that we can unlock the root dragon on both of our accounts as well, just because why the heck not? I don't think our Android account has the root dragon on it, so that would be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure our PC account does. Does it? Does it not? I'm going insane. Do I have the root dragon? Okay, I do. Alright, I did spook myself a little bit there. I was like, wait, is there a legendary that I don't have? No, there are a few. It's like on my PC account, I never got the Pixie Dot legendary. I only bred that on my secondary. It's like one of the only legendaries where I've done that on the baby game, but not on the grown-up adult, way too much time invested account one. I just didn't bother that month to breed the Pixie Dot properly. And what do you know? I didn't manage to breed it, so I only have myself to blame. Only myself. I mean, that's normally the case with, like, everything that people try and blame on someone else. It's normally your fault. But, you know, it's easier to look at someone else and go, no, it was her fault! She said the naughty things, not me! I don't know what this has to do with dragons, but, you know. Anyway. You know, in DML, not a whole lot is going on apart from the boss challenge event, but it will start getting very, very serious on the 22nd, I think it is, when that new castle event comes out. I really want to get Chrono Hades, and obviously getting a second Hermes won't be too bad either, but it instills a great deal of fear within me. So I'm not sure what to think at this point, but you know, for now, I will thank you for joining me in my DML escapades. Best of luck with all of the divine chests and, you know, whatever else you are doing in your own game. But until next time, get your Dragon of the Week breedings ready, and I will see you then.